Elephant in the Room. I am Jasmine Bowen, and today we have a little bit of a different episode for you today. REMICTV is expanding. That's right, we have the elephant in the room, we have smart money, we have entertainment extra, but we are looking for new shows and new fantastic hosts to bring to us. So you're gonna see some of the best and the worst of all across the GTA and beyond. So keep your computer on, keep your TV on, check it out, and tell us who you like best for a new host of REMICTV. First up, hello, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Aaron Kagan.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for coming in. And what would your show be about on Remic?
Well, you know, I'm passionate about a lot of things, but I'm definitely passionate about fitness and getting people out of the house and getting people in shape. I lost 40 pounds in the past 2.5 months, and I did it through a lot of hard work and diet and exercise. There's no magic pill. You got to get up and you got to do things. But I think the thing that motivates people most to get out of the house is finding fun things to do out of the house, and that will be what my show would be about. Finding cheap and fun ways to be outside of the house.
And you did it the real way too. There was no exercise or no magic pill. Lots of exercise. Sorry.
No magic pill. Diet and exercise. Actually, most of the best way to do it is to find when you're hanging out around the house, all you want to do is sit in front of the TV and eat. So you got to find a way to get yourself out of the house, get yourself moving, find fun and cheap things to do in your city, and that's what I'd like to promote. Follow me, and we'll go and find fun and cheap things to do all over Toronto.
Awesome. No, sometimes on REMICTV, you have a lot of guests come in and out, and you get some weird stuff. For example, aliens took my baby.
Aliens took my baby? Really? I'd love that. That would be awesome. We can go on an adventure. We can go on an adventure and try to find where are these aliens? Who are these aliens? What are these aliens about?
So you think you'd be ready to roll with anything that came out of people's mouths?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm a horse.
You're a horse? Really? That's so beautiful. You have a beautiful mane. Well, it's so long and silky.
All right.
It looks like you're very well taken care of.
I am a very well taken care of horse. And what kind of experience are you bringing to the table?
Well, you know, I'm 35 years old, so I'm not fresh out of high school. I've got a life experience. I speak 4 languages.
Wow, which languages?
I speak English, French, Portuguese, and Hebrew fluently. And I've traveled around the world. I've traveled to Egypt. I've been to Jordan. I've been to Israel, Palestine. I've been to Brazil. I've been to Europe. I've been many places. I've seen a lot of things. Got a lot of experience to share.
All right. And do you think you might be incorporating any of that travel experience?
Well, of course. Why not? You got to take advantage of it.
All right. And what kind of acting, hosting experience do you have?
Well, I'm a trained actor. I've been to acting school, theater, and film. I've had experience on camera and off camera on stage. Plus, I also have experience as a circus performer.
Ooh. Yeah. So do you have anything to ask me?
I have anything to ask you. I'm new to Toronto. I've only been here for 2.5 months, which is one of the reasons I thought it would be an interesting show would be to discover Toronto.
Ooh.
Come along with me and we'll discover Toronto together.
All right.
So I'd like to know, where would you take me to discover
Where would
Toronto?
I take you? Probably medieval times.
Medieval times. I've never been there. That sounds really interesting.
It is. It's a really fun place to be.
Oh, nice.
You don't know what it is, do you?
I do absolutely. I absolutely don't. I know what it is. It's the jousting and all the yeah, you can.
Well, I've been 6 times.
Oh wow.
Yes. A little
Nice.
bit addicted. There might be a night there that I want to stalk.
Okay. Is it and what's your most fun part about medieval times for you?
I'm a big historical nerd.
Oh really?
So, yes.
Okay,
I enjoy watching
interesting.
and pretending I am in a castle.
That is interesting. So you're like Guinevere, and then Lancelot's going to come to save you.
I think my dream role would be the princess.
The princess. Very nice. Very nice.
Anything else you want to share before we head off?
No, I think, like I said, I think it would be a very interesting concept to discover Toronto with me. Come along with me, and everything will be new for me too. So I think people would see the passion in that. I'm not just taking you to places I've seen before. We're discovering this together.
All right.
Yeah.
And your name again?
My name is Aaron Kagan.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Aaron, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
You too. And here we are. Welcome back to REMICTV. What is your name?
My name is MD Jones, and I'm the host of 419.
Ah, you already have a show.
I already have a show.
Okay, so tell me, what would your show be about on Remic?
My show 419 would be about the fraud and the petty theft that goes around in financial systems, financial institutions across the GTA and pretty much nationally. And I will follow a few subjects from primarily the West African community who carry on this practice.
What makes you the expert?
What makes me the expert is simply because I am from that community, and I do mingle a lot with people from this background, and I kind of witness a lot of.
Yeah. What kind of guests would be on your show?
Primarily, the guests who will be on my show would include police officers who do track down these activities, victims of fraud in this capacity, and pretty much the perpetrators.
Okay. So why don't you look into the camera, introduce the show as if it is real, and then I'll be a guest. I'll be a police officer, whatever you want me to be, okay? Go right ahead.
Hi, welcome to 419. Today on our show, we'll be talking about...
anything you want. Anything you want. Go right ahead and start again. Don't worry about it.
Hi, welcome to 419. My name is MD Jones, and today on our show, we'll be talking with Police Chief
Jasmine
of the Division 23 Police, Toronto Police.
Yes.
Regarding...
Today we're talking about the fire that happened down on Bloor Street. So let me tell you about it. There was a fire on Bloor Street, and it was due to arson. So do you have anything to ask me about the fire? Because I did investigate it. It's okay. Take a deep breath. Just pretend I'm actually a guest, and go right ahead and ask me a couple questions, and I'll just answer them. I just want to see that you can like improv ask questions.
Okay, so who was involved in this fire?
We actually think it was some gang members. It was actually a gang attack on a rival gang.
A gang attack on the rival gang. Were there any casualties?
There were two. Unfortunately, two people who worked in the building that was burned down. There were two casualties, fatalities, and there were several people who were mildly burned as well.
And how is the police department doing to help the families of these victims?
Well, we're trying to find out like who specifically was responsible, what is going on, why it happened, and what we can do to prevent it. And we really want to put the people responsible for it behind bars. I mean, the fire did result in fatalities, so they should be serving sentence for murder.
Would you be able to tell us about how prompt the police was able to respond to these premises from when you got the call, 911 call regarding this fire?
We responded within 15 minutes.
And at that point, when you got here, what was the situation on that?
The building was pretty much ablaze. I could tell just by looking at it that it was a loss, and we knew there were people inside, so we immediately had to respond, send the firemen in, call the paramedics, all of that.
Have you had an opportunity to speak with any witnesses at all?
Not yet, but we are getting some witness testimonials. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Thank you very much, Jasmine.
No problem. Just sign off. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
For REMICTV, it's MD Jones.
All right, we have our next auditionee, and what is your name?
My name is Maryse Perron.
All right, and that's a French name.
Yes, it is.
And what would your remix show be about?
My remix show would be about doing things, recycling, fixing things around the home. Women are getting more and more involved with fixing little things around the home. Okay, so like if you have some furniture that needs to be redone, or you just want to make something look better, like it could be something as simple as a garbage can that you don't want to throw it out. It doesn't go with the with the design anymore, with the colors. So what you can do is you can just color it up again.
Ooh.
Change it, revamp it.
All right,
bring it back into the future.
There's so much of that going around. Why should we choose you? Why do you think we want to see you talk and host?
Well, I think it's important to make it very personable and very easygoing, because most of the some of these products actually to redo or revamp either your kitchen cabinets or countertops are very corporate. And the thing is with corporate is that after a while it gets pretty monotone and it gets boring and nobody's really paying attention. And we just want to get the project started. We want to get the project finished. We want to move on and have the final product. So I think I would bring, some
So you
fun
think
to
you're
the
better
industry.
than all of them out there?
I don't know if I'm better, but I think I would bring a good attitude towards it and make it lively and informative so that not only for the project that you're doing right now, but for any future projects, if there's any questions about what kind of tools you need, what kind of product you need, you know what you're doing, as opposed to just walking in a store and saying like, oh my God, there's so many choices, great, but what do I do? What goes with what?
So what are you bringing to the table? We get some tough questions on REMICTV, and you have to be prepared to answer them.
Okay.
So what are you bringing for us?
Just knowledge, a lot of knowledge, a lot of good sense of humor, the ability to also go beyond that and go into decor and anything, scrapbooking to sewing to anything that anybody wants to know how to do. I can help you out.
And do you think there'll be an audience for this type of show?
I think there is, because we're going more towards that kind of attitude of we're not just throwing out anymore, we're recycling. It's becoming more and more important. So we need to know how to do it. And you know what? A lot of people don't know how to do the simplest things, surprisingly enough. Yeah, they don't even know like what kind of paintbrush to use, or you'd be very surprised. Before there was an attitude that we had, we knew how to do things. We knew the little things, and now it's becoming more and more. People know how to work the gadgets. People know how to work the computers, but we're letting the other stuff behind.
And do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do.
All right.
My first question would be, how long would the segment be, and would it be on a weekly basis?
Oh, well, we can talk about all of that after. I mean, do you have any questions for me? Show me how you can be a host. Ask me a host question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of, or are you involved in recycling, redoing, or refixing anything around your home?
I would have to admit, I am not really. My recycling box is a cardboard box that sits in my kitchen, and I just kind of like throw everything in there. That's not garbage. Glass, paper, plastic, it all goes in there. No, you're shaking your head.
No.
Uh-oh.
We live in an environment where we have to recycle, reuse.
Yeah, no, but I mean, sometimes it's a lot of work.
It can be, I think, if you really don't know how to go about doing it.
All right.
I think that's what's important.
Well, thank you so much for coming out, and best of luck to you. Anything you want to add at the end?
Nope. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, well.
I appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
No problem. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with another one. All right, here we go. What is your name?
My name is James Delzell, and I'm auditioning to be on REMICTV.
All right, so what would your remix show be about?
I had a few ideas. I think the one that kind of fit probably the whole show concept the most is more maybe a relationship show.
A relationship show.
Yeah, right. I just got engaged recently.
Oh, congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, so I was thinking probably a relationship show, and maybe just questions that people have about marriage and wedding and finances and that sort of stuff.
Marriage, wedding, finances is a big cover.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, relationship kind of fits into that.
All right, well, James, I'm going to be a little bit tough. There's a bunch of people out there in relationships. What makes you think that we want to see you talk about relationships?
Well, that's a very good question. And to be honest, I don't know if you'd really want me to talk about it as a host. I mean, I'd get people that, probably like experts on it, or at least have good advice.
What kind of experts?
Just like marriage counselors or something like that, or even any financial experts. Just questions that young couples would have, really.
Right.
It's more. I'm not saying I'm an expert on it, but I'd like to learn more. So as a host, it'd probably be.
Now in Remic, I mean, you can get a lot of weird questions. You can get a lot of tough questions. For example, if a guest just said, "I'm a horse."
You're a horse?
I am a horse.
That's interesting. Okay. So do you eat hay for breakfast, or what?
No, I just identify with horses.
Oh, you identify with horses. Oh, okay. So you can speak to them.
Yes.
And whatnot. Oh, that's interesting.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Well, yeah, sure. Well, I would just like to see you talk to a horse, or just see you identify with it.
I can't actually do it on the air. We have to do it in secret.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, that probably would be a good topic for the next show.
All right, your relationship show. Just young couples?
No, any couples. I mean, people that have been married for 30 years. I think, to be honest, I just kind of thought of that in the last, on the way here, really. because I had a couple ideas. I was like, was thinking about sports and stuff, but looking at the the type of like your website or the TV channel, whatever, like the actual like Remic show, I think that would fit more in the
sports as well. You could do a sports show. Are you a big sports fan?
So I'm a huge sports fan, actually.
So you would cover what kind of sports?
All of them. I mean, I'm a huge sports fan. Mostly hockey, football, the main four, basketball, baseball.
All right.
The only one that I'm not really well educated in is soccer, really.
Well, maybe we can bring in a soccer expert.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I could learn all about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Good morning, Vietnam. No, all kidding aside.
Oh, he took my intro. All right, what is your name, sir?
My name is William Legood.
Okay, and what would your remix show be about?
My remix show would be about life.
Life.
Yes.
That's very general.
Yeah, it is very general. Today driving in, I can't help but think about what a mess the GTA is in traffic. I can't help but think about what France did, years ago. The government basically told them, listen, we're not going to build you guys any more new roads. We've had it. If you want to spend 2 hours of your morning and 2 hours of your night driving on the highway, that's your business.
So your remix show would basically be your personal rants.
Basically, yeah.
All right, show me your show. Go right ahead.
Yeah,
Intro your show. Welcome to REMICTV, and then I'll be a guest on your rant show.
Okay, here we go. Good morning, Vietnam. Well, again, all kidding aside, this isn't Vietnam. This is the GTA. Today we have a very special guest, Jasmine, and we're going to discuss today's issue. And in my opinion, it's about traffic. Should the GTA get toll booths, or should we toll the lanes?
Toll booths.
This is my particular idea, and I know a lot of you out there, and I know Jasmine in particular is going to have an idea on this. And I think that we should toll every individual lane. I spend a lot of time on the highway. Weekend traffic is just brutal, and there's these people out there that I call these middle lane travelers, and they are just driving me bonkers. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm sure they are too, unless you are one of these people. It is safer to drive in the middle lane, I agree, because of the merging traffic. But I think if you're going to have that kind of opportunity and kind of free way to go, then I think you shouldn't be free, and I think you should.
Well, I mean, frankly, there's so much traffic in the GTA. I can never get anywhere ever on time, and something should be done. But I don't know if we have to pay additionally. If I wanted to pay, I'd just take the subway.
Well, I'm paying additionally. I took the 407 here this morning.
Wow, and
Right.
that was the traffic.
It
on
was
that?
pretty dreamy. There was, there's an image of me, arm out the window, sunglasses, big grin.
But I mean, I can't afford to pay every time I get on the highway. So what should I do?
Well, you're going to have to. That's where, again, let's take a page out of France's book.
What did they do in France?
They said, listen, if you guys want to drive on the highway, live far away from where you work, that's your business.
Now, William, I think there should be somebody more qualified than me on this show. What kind of experts would you get to talk about this?
I would like to get the planners of the city in
The
here.
city planners.
Yeah. You got Rob Ford complaining about how the city isn't bringing any money in. I think tolls are definitely on the menu. What my idea and my input on this is, and I would obviously like the professionals' input as well, is toll every lane.
Toll every
If
lane.
you want to drive in the fast lane, there's a premium price. You want to drive in that middle lane, there's going to be a premium price. If you want the free lane, as Jasmine, you've pointed out, you don't want to pay any extra money. That, I'm sorry, my dear, is the right lane. And you're going to have to work with the emerging traffic.
Well, I don't know if I'm happy with that. I have the right to drive on the road anytime I want.
The lane's all yours.
All right.
If you want to get somewhere quicker, you're going to have to pay a little extra.
All right. Well, thank you very much, William, for coming on the show.
Jasmine, the pleasure's been all mine.
All right. Well, thank you and best of luck.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. And here we go again. What is your name, sir?
Fortunato Pitaro. How are you, Jasmine?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
Now, what would your remix show be about?
I have a couple of ideas, and they're in different tangents. One of them would be, how cool would it be to talk about the aging population and all the challenges that face the aging population? As you know, the biggest market over the next few years is going to be that of the aging population. So that's one end. The other end is on the totally different spectrum, is the young entrepreneurs. They're going to be up and coming in our country.
Right.
How great would it be to bring up that talent to come up and showcase what they're thinking, their ideas, their thoughts? Let the world know about it. Maybe we can get a white knight that can come by and fund them for their ideas that can better our society. So that's the two ends that I was thinking about.
Two very different spectrums.
Definitely.
Now, why would you be the host of either of these shows? I mean, what makes you knowledgeable about them?
Well, I've been in the teaching environment now for the last, say, about 10 years.
What do you teach?
I'm a CMA moderator for the Strategic Leadership Program for Certified Management Accountants. So I do come across a lot of young talent that comes in the ranks of education. And as well, I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of networking events. So, and a lot of it has to do with entrepreneurship. So how great would it be to kind of get that talent? Because you can see they have all these ideas and they're just like waiting to let that idea out. And how cool would it be to have the audience see that and say, hey, you know what, that makes sense.
All right, well,
having a look at that.
Show me a Remic show. Go ahead, intro it, and I'm your entrepreneur guest.
Welcome to Remic, everybody. This is Fortunato Pitaro, and today we're going to have a young talent come in and talk to us about her great idea, how we can change society. Jasmine.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Thank you for coming for the show. You mentioned you had a great idea about how we can help society. In general, I'm talking about young kids that are struggling to get an education, and you've come up with some kind of educational program that you feel might be able to help them get that better foot into a door.
Well, I just feel like there's so many children out there who go to university and the job market is flooded. So the best way really is to start your own business. But a lot of them don't know how. And I think giving them that leg up to show them how to be an entrepreneur and start their own business would change the joblessness situation in the country.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm getting the feeling that perhaps you were once struggling as well, and you've come up with an idea that you feel that, hey, it'll get me out of my situation, and perhaps help share that idea with some other struggling young students, for example. Right.
Well, I took a very general degree in university, and the job market was flooded with people just like me who kind of had no applicable skills. So I thought, why not market myself, start my own business, help other struggling entrepreneurs, get some help. But I'm really looking to you. I mean, who could I talk to in the area? Do you have any ideas?
Well, I, in fact, do have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of contacts. We have a lot of contacts in our network that we might be able to bridge that connection that you might not otherwise know about. So,
like who?
Well, we have bankers, we have investors, we have mentors that could help a young person coming into the ranks of the marketplace and help them, guide them into the direction of success.
Well, I'd definitely like to talk to some investors, but why would they be interested in me?
Well, I think that investors are always looking for that wow, that's a great idea, and we can definitely market that idea. So investors are always looking for that. And I think this is a great opportunity to showcase the talent and just to see how well they can actually do in the marketplace.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Do you have anything else to close off? Maybe close off the show?
Well, that's been a great show, and I really enjoyed speaking to Jasmine today, and I'm hoping we can bring new talent into our program. So by all means, send us your emails, give us your ideas, and perhaps you can be in front of the camera as well discussing your ideas.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll be right back. All right. So what is your name?
My name is Chandra Pepper.
And Chandra, what would your show be about?
I'd really like to talk about how arts affect society.
Now, this is kind of a very specific topic. Is your entire show going to be about this, or different episodes? Or?
Totally different episodes. Arts involves visual arts, musicians, actors, performers of any kind. I really honestly believe that being creative is the key to whole being wellness. I run an arts and wellness studio. So and I'm an actress, director, yada yada yada. So I really feel that the arts is a really big part of everybody's life, whether you know it or not. Going to a movie, watching a TV show, or being active in your local community theater is very important.
Now, Stephen Harper has a very famous quote, ordinary Canadians actually don't support the arts. It's not very important. To Canadians, what do you have to say on that?
Well, if Stephen and I had a little chat, we'd probably have an argument because I disagree. I think people need to be aware that they do support it in their own way. Putting your child in a music theater class, putting your child in a creative writing class, expecting teachers in schools today to teach theater, music, art, where they probably don't know how. He's technically supporting the arts, and we're supporting the arts but not properly.
All right. Show me your Remic show, Chandra.
Hi, this is Arts Talk with Chandra Pepper. Today I'd like to focus on teaching special needs teens and adults theater, which is something I've done for the past 10 years. And it is amazing how watching anyone with any kind of challenge and disability in their life open up when they're given the environment to open up in. They just become alive, and it's inspiring to anybody, whether you have a challenge or not. For instance, I have certain youth in my class right now where I give a game where we decide what's in the box, and we pass this box around, and what is in this box. And the ideas that come out of these youth that you would think couldn't come up. One little boy said, autism is in this box. I think autism is in this box because it is so special, it needs to be protected.
So, I mean, I have a lot of opinions on that. Do you have any
Want to share
questions
them?
for me? Oh,
Jasmine,
yes.
what do you feel about youth and arts in today's school system?
It's definitely not focused on enough. I took one drama class all through high school. There was only one drama class, and I mean, it's a pipe dream, of course, but for the kids who have that dream, it's been squashed.
Definitely. How would you like to see it change?
I would definitely like to see more arts high schools, but you see, I think there's not enough arts funding, and the problem starts on the top.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I would like to see more communities rally around the arts and showcase them, so that you can invite your local MPP down and see what the arts is doing in your society, in your community, and make sure that they are aware that it is alive. It's not a dying art.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today, so why don't you sign off for us?
Thanks. It's been Art Talk with Chandra and Jasmine.
All right. Thank you very much, Chandra.
Thank you. Wonderful to meet you.
Best of luck. Thank you. Okay, here's our next person. What is your name?
Amanda Chung.
Amanda, welcome to REMICTV. Amanda, what would your show be about?
I think my show would be about health and beauty, and how those two really correspond, and how we can incorporate it into our daily lives for everyday people.
Well, you certainly look very healthy and beautiful. What kind of experience do you have?
Well, I just won the Miss China Montreal pageant, and then I went to represent my city at Miss China International. And a really important part of that is I realized how healthy those girls were, not only mentally, but also physically. And so I really learned a lot of ways how we integrate healthy living into our busy lifestyle.
What kind of people would you have on your show? Because health and beauty is such a vague topic.
I would have all sorts of holistic health practitioners, including Reiki masters, yoga specialists, and entrepreneurs that have organic brands and organic skincare. Because I think it's very important that women are educated on the benefits of having an organic and wholesome lifestyle.
Now, to be honest, I mean, you're very pretty, but there are lots of pretty girls out there. What makes you the one to be on Remic?
I think that I'm not afraid to be in front of a camera, and I think that I definitely can bring an energy to the room that can make people comfortable and can really help them open up about the experiences that they have to share with the audience. Because the show is not just about me, really. It's more about the correspondence between the guest and the host, and as well as really giving people an opportunity to see what they have to say.
Absolutely. Well, show me your Remic show.
Sure. Do I
yeah, go ahead, intro a show, and I'm your guest.
Hi, my name is Amanda, and you're watching REMICTV. Today, I have a renowned Reiki specialist who came all the way from Japan just to give us an introduction on what Reiki is and how you can integrate it into your life. Please introduce Jasmine.
Well, thank you very much for having me. So what do you want to know about Reiki?
Well, I think we'd all be interested to understand what the origins were. I understand that it comes from Nichiren Buddhism in Japan. Could you explain a bit about the original myth of how it came about?
Well, I mean, it's a very old art form that's been used in a lot of healing all the way back to ancient times. Whether you want to promote a healthy lifestyle, whether you're healing from something, whether you need focus and calm in your life, people use it for all sorts of reasons.
Wow, that's very interesting. So do you think that the average person can learn how to integrate Reiki into his and her life?
I definitely think so. I mean, it's not something that takes a long time to learn, maybe a long time to master, but not to learn. And all we need is 5 to 10 minutes a day to relax.
Wow, thank you. Could you tell me about your personal journey with Reiki and how it helped you? Because I understand that it really created a transformation in your life at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, I was a very hyper person. I didn't focus a lot in school, any of that, probably a little ADD, and I needed to focus because my grades were going down, and I didn't want to take medication for it, so I found Reiki.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Why don't you sign off for us, end the show?
Thank you very much for watching Remic TV. My name is Amanda.
All right, well, thank you very much, Amanda, and best of luck.
Great, thank you.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is NATASHA BROMFIELD.
And thank you for coming on the show today, Natasha.
My pleasure.
Now, what would your show be about?
Well, I was thinking to do a show that looked at basically tips for the fuller-figured lady. So something like extra cuddly and fabulous. Looking at health tips, beauty tips, great places to shop, you know, how to dress for your body type, that sort of thing. Giving the fuller-figured girl a voice.
Now, there are a lot of fuller-figured women out there because being slim and tall and all that is actually the minority. So there are a lot of people who probably think they have a lot to say. What makes you the expert on it?
I feel that I'm a person that people can relate to, speak the truth, you know, give reviews on things, give the good things and the bad things, and just the desire to help people out that are in the same situation as myself.
All right, and why do you think out of all the fuller figure ladies out there, you should be the one we choose?
I think I do pretty good. One of my pet peeves is not dressing for your body type. I think I do pretty well in that area. You know, coming from a family where this is an issue prevalent in my family, you know, I can help out. I believe women of all ages, younger and on the older end of things.
All right, well, show me your remix show.
Okay. Hello, welcome. This is Natasha. You're with me today on Extra Cuddly and Fabulous.
Ooh.
And today we have the store owner of Maximum Woman, downtown Toronto, Jill, who caters to the fuller-figured gal. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Jill, if you could tell our viewers today, you know, what types of clothing that you sell, and give us a little bit of help on dressing for our body types for the full-figured gal. We've all heard of the pear shape out there, the apple shape. What advice could you give to our viewers today?
Well, I think a lot of fuller-figured women want to cover up all the time, and they just think that baggy clothing, you know, will hide it all, but it actually makes you look worse. So I say embrace your curves. You are a woman. You have womanly parts. Embrace them. Show them off. Mix tight with baggy. Maybe if you're baggy on the bottom, tight on top to show off your nice curves, or the opposite. Use bright colors. Confidence is the sexiest thing, no matter what your size.
That's great advice, Jill. I absolutely agree. Can you be more specific and tell us what might you recommend for an apple-shaped lady? Somebody that's more rounder on top, slender on their bottom.
I think the classic style of the tunic with leggings. I really like that style. Maybe a belt if they have a tinier waist. And bright colors. I'm all about bright colors. Be confident. Embrace yourself. Really, the truth is clothes are not going to hide what you have one way or another. Sure. So just rock it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. And I'm all about the bright colors too. I'm absolutely with you on that. Can you tell us a little bit about the clientele that comes shopping at your store?
Oh, we have everyone from actually fully figured ladies all the way up to size 24 to women who are just on the border of plus size, to a couple of times women who are just embarrassed about their body type and are actually smaller but have it in their head that they're bigger.
Right, yes. And what are some of the latest trends you're seeing coming into your store these days?
I'm seeing a lot of, it's spring, so a lot of nice spring colors coming in. A lot less baggy, actually. I think confidence is becoming key. A lot of kind of fitting in the right areas, clothes that are made for fuller ladies and not just expanded.
Yes, absolutely. And it's nice to see out in the celebrity world a lot more fuller figure ladies. They're getting some good roles in TV and film, and it's nice to kind of look at what they're wearing as well.
Absolutely. I think we're out of time, so why don't you end the show for us?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Jill. You've been with Natasha on Extra Cuddly and Fabulous.
All right. And here we have Mark. Mark, what's your full name?
Mark Monroe. How are you doing today?
Nice to meet you. I'm doing great, and how are you?
I'm very good. It's a great day.
So, Mark, what are you bringing to REMICTV?
All right, so what I have been trying to find the last few years, I've been seeing everybody doing their bucket lists of all the things they want to do with their lives and all the great things that they want to accomplish, climbing a mountain or, you know, flying somewhere, going on an expensive vacation or backpacking across somewhere. My bucket list is all about finding balance in life. It's the balanced bucket list. It's things that you're going to do that you're going to keep adding to the list over your life that are experiences that'll open your mind, change your thoughts, change your positivity towards things, maybe enlighten you or open your mind. Anything that can really just make you a better person.
I mean, give me a basic episode. What would one episode be about?
Well, I mean, it's definitely individual to a lot of different people for themselves. But for myself, it's all about experiences that are enlightening, from seeing different kinds of art that make you think, from different types of documentaries that could open your eyes to the ways that other people live.
So what kind of guests would you have?
I think one of the things that I would definitely start off with was somebody who is in the psychology field or therapy field, and just talk about things that are day-to-day things that you can implement into your life to make your life that much better and to be a better person, be the best version of yourself.
Would you be going out of studio to film some stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've got this.
Going out into the streets and finding, because there's so many different facets of life in that you can learn something and you don't even really realize you're learning it at the time. You know, you can be at an information session about learning about your mortgage. You need to learn things about life that go along with it that actually help you out to attain those things in your life. But definitely finding balance in the things you do definitely helps keep you on track. And I find that when you're going back and forth like you're on a roller coaster, it makes the things in your life do the same thing and mimics them.
No, I mean, there's so many guys out there with so many dreams, so many bucket lists. What makes you think that Toronto wants to hear your bucket list or your stuff?
I think that having a bucket list of just crazy things to do is something that we can all just do individually, but really finding something that makes your life better as a bucket list, and finding ways to make you a better person and your life easier, and, you know, better ways to make money and better ways to find a relationship, keep that relationship, stay stable in that relationship, all those types of things.
All right, so show me your show.
All right, I'm Mark Monroe, and my show is Balanced Bucket List.
And I mean, I'm your guest. Pretend I'm your guest. Go ahead and interview me.
All right, so today we're talking to an expert about life and balance. She's a therapist. And I just wanted to know, what are some of the things that you should really look for to stop the ups and downs in your life and to maybe find a positive purpose, a positive point in your life?
Well, you should definitely always follow your heart and do what you love, no matter what. No ifs, ands, buts, all that. I can't because, I shouldn't because, forget all that. Just do it.
It's about removing all the negativity, focusing on the positive and going with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, so many people make so many excuses. I want to live in Europe, but I can't but I'm miserable in North America. Well, up and move then. No excuses about you'll find another job there. Bring your husband with you or leave him there. Make yourself happy.
So it's totally about closing the doors to the negativity and opening it back up to the positive things that are going on in your life, and the things that could be and not that won't be.
If you surround yourself with negativity, you're just going to be miserable.
Exactly.
Do you have any other questions for me?
What would you say if somebody is caught in a bad situation, if they're feeling down about themselves? What is the first step that they would take to be able to pull themselves out of that?
I would say make yourself happy for one night, whatever it is. For some people, it's as simple as indulging on that $8 Starbucks latte. For some people, it's they have to turn their phones off and watch their favorite Netflix show all night long. For some people, it's calling up their friend, even though it's long distance charges, and talking and talking and talking. Make yourself happy for one night, and that will be the start of your new life.
So you're almost saying it's going to be like a domino effect. You make one good decision, after that you make a second good decision, you make a third good decision, and at that point you find yourself down the road a ways, and you've made a series of good decisions, one after the other, but just focusing on one at a time. Perfect.
All right, well, I think we're almost out of time, so why don't you sign off for us?
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. This is Mark Monroe for Balanced Bucket List.
All right, and thank you, Mark, and good luck on that bucket list.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Okay, what's your real name?
Lucy Marie.
Lucy Marie. All right. So tell me, Lucy, what would your remix show be about?
All right. So I know a lot of people that are very successful. You know, I come from a really great family, if you will. But, you know, these people have worked so hard to get to where they are. So I'm now noticing, you know, whenever you see people that win the lottery, for instance, or they get, you know, a large sum of money, and they don't really know how to be a millionaire, let's say. So they're getting all this money and they're spending it like this, you know, and they're just kind of going on all these trips and they're buying these cars. And all of a sudden they have no money. So it's kind of like they don't know how to be a millionaire. So the show that I invented is called Average Joe. What I would do is I would come in and I would interview this average Joe who is now a millionaire, and I would kind of see what his life was prior to winning the lottery or getting that sum of money, interviewing his friends, and now seeing how he lives at this moment and seeing what he can, you know, how he can reconnect with the person that he was prior to winning.
How many average Joe millionaires are there out there?
Well, there are a few. So for instance, people that win the lottery, if you will, especially in the States, because in Canada, we win, you know, provincial. We win provincial lotteries. In the United States, it's national. So there's people that are winning $230 million. There's people, yeah. So it's crazy. And then they just spend it. So it's kind of an intervention, if you will.
All right. So show me how you would start your remix show, and I'll be your average Joe millionaire.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So today we are with the stunning and lovely lady over here, and we want to ask her how she feels today now that she's won all this money. So tell us, now that you've won so much money, what do you find is so different in your life? And do you have the same group of friends?
There's definitely a lot that's changed. At first it was great and everyone was happy, but now I'm starting to notice that like people who were not so nice to me in high school or college are coming up and suddenly trying to be friends again.
So do you think that has to do with money, or do you think that it's because they want to reconnect with you as a person?
It's definitely to do with money.
Exactly. So now how do you deal with that? So these people are coming and they're trying to be your friend. How do you know, what to say, and how do you kind of voice that to them? That's a big thing to say. Excuse me, I think that you're using me for my money. So how do you deal with this?
I don't know what to say. I mean, some of the messages I ignore, but I'm generally a polite person. So I say, sure. I mean, it would be great to reconnect. And then they want to do something expensive and they're short on cash.
So you find you're always going into your pocket and having to cover their end?
Yeah.
Really? So do they always ask you to go out, or do you ask them sometimes to come out with you?
I only ask the people to go out who are my friends beforehand.
Right. So they're just kind of on you all the time.
Yeah, they are. I mean, my best friend hasn't changed at all. He still, still wants to go to the movies and buy a $5 popcorn, and sometimes he pays, and that's great.
So there's a question. How do you find that is? So do you still find the small things in life to be just as rewarding as, let's say, a trip to the Bahamas? Would you rather just snuggle up on the couch and watch, a movie on a tiny screen, or does it now have to be this huge screen that you're used to?
There are some new things I've discovered that are fantastic that I can do with my money, but I'm still a homebody on Saturday night who wants to eat popcorn with my husband and watch a movie.
Amazing. And so what do you think that you're going to be doing with your money now? Now that you've won all this money, do you think that you're going to splurge it in one way? Do you have a financial advisor? Do you know exactly what you're going to be doing?
I was pretty good with money before I won it. The lottery was kind of like a one-off thing, actually. So I save a lot of it because I want to be able to retire comfortably and not worry about it.
Absolutely. So now you're going to be putting that money away, doing investments and doing smart things with your money?
Yeah. My father is the smartest man I ever knew, so he tells me a lot about where to put it. I've put quite a bit of it away, and I've kind of created a budget for what I spend month to month so it can last a really long time and I don't have to win another lottery.
Well, there you go. It sounds like you have it all figured out. So congratulations. You're one of the great ones, and you seem to know what you're doing with your money, and you're still happy with all the small things in life. So
all right.
Congratulations all around.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for being with us.
All right. That's all. Thank you very much. That was great, especially for not being prepared. You were fantastic.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And the beautiful lady in blue, what is your name?
Shannon Laing.
All right, Shannon, well, nice to meet you. What is your show going to be about?
Well, I think I have a couple of different ideas, but I think we'll go with what my everyday life is like, juggling a family and a career and just being all over the board. So I was thinking of a show called The Multitasking Parent, because that's what parents have to do most of the time these days, right?
So what would a specific episode be like?
Well, I guess we would interview people who are dedicated to their careers, but also have children and a husband and other things on the side going on. So, and it would just be, I think it would be inspiring for viewers to see that they're not the only ones out there that are trying to have
So
this
your
great
show would
balancing
focus
act.
on average people. There wouldn't
Yes.
necessarily be experts or...
Not necessarily. There could be experts. I mean, we could have experts on talking about how to balance child care and work and those sorts of things.
All right, well,
there's so
show
many
me an
issues that-
episode. Yeah,
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
Hi, I'm Shannon Laing, and you're watching REMICTV. Today we're talking with... Sorry, can I start again?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Hi, this is Shannon Laing, and you're watching The Multitasking Parent on REMICTV. Here with us today is the lovely Jasmine Bowen, mother, actress, wife, fashion
Extraordinaire,
designer.
yeah.
How do you do it all, Jasmine?
I don't sleep much.
I guess you don't. What sorts of tips do you have for balancing such a busy lifestyle?
Focus. My best tip is I have a day planner where I write stuff down. I block stuff out. So, you know, from 2 to 4, I am doing this. At 3 o'clock, I have to go pick up my kids. From 5 to 7, I am designing. All of these things are blocked out specifically. And I find when you have very little time to do things, you actually focus more than when you have all day to kind of mess around and do them whenever.
I agree. So you must have a very full fridge calendar.
Yes, that's true. But I love everything I do.
I would think that the support of your significant other would be very crucial with such a busy life.
I mean, definitely. If my significant other was somebody who was jealous or, you know, demanded time or, you know, thought he was kind of a chauvinist man, I definitely couldn't deal with it at all. But he's very supportive. He's very accepting of everything that I do, and he understands I need to do my thing, and he does his thing, and at the end of the day, we reunite.
Right. So how do you guys decide on who's going to do what? Do you just sort of sit down every week?
I mean, it depends who's home. That's for sure. First of all, who's ever home should cook dinner. You essentially do what you can in the time that you can, and it all gets done. We definitely don't do any leisure activities like playing on the computer before the dishes have to be done. And it's just so much more rewarding when you sit down at the end of the day and everything is done and it's done efficiently.
Now, talking about your career, how long have you been working at an acting career?
About 20 years.
20 years?
Yes, I started when I was a very young child.
Wow, okay. And so was that something that you always wanted to do, or is that something that your parents got you into?
I always wanted to do it. I always loved the stage. I always loved the lights and the process and becoming someone else. I don't think I know how to do anything else not related to the arts.
And so what is your passion? Is it stage or?
Definitely theater. Definitely. I know a lot of people say, oh, everyone has to start in theater, but I want to stay in theater.
Oh, good. So do you sing as well?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
Yep.
Would you like to demonstrate for us?
No. I'm a bit sick today, actually, so I don't want to give a false performance, but thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem. Now, would you say that your acting career led you into your designing?
Definitely. I mean, I had a lot of costumes that were a little bit complicated, and I saw a lot of different designs in all my years and kind of got the experience just from watching all the different costume designers that I've worked with, and nothing, not even university, can give you the experience of watching 20 years worth of professional costume designers. So yeah.
So that's where you started in theater design for sure.
Yes.
Wow. What inspires you to design today?
I'm actually really into historical stuff, so kind of historical with an acceptable modern twist. You know, the smallest bit of modern I can do, like maybe a peasant skirt with a kind of pretty corset type top. I really like the designs of way back then. I wish I could live back then, so that's what inspires me.
Do you design for your girls?
Yes, I do.
So you try to incorporate them into your
but I also give them free choice. If they don't want to pick my designs in the morning, that's fine.
And do you think your girls are going to follow your footsteps in theater?
We'll see. One of them is very sciencey, so we'll see.
Does that come from Dad?
Yeah, maybe. Thank you very much. Do you want to sign out?
Yeah, sure. So thank you for watching The Multitasking Parent, and Jasmine, thank you for being
No
with us.
problem. All right,
Once
well,
again, you're
thank
watching
you.
REMICTV. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you very much, and best of luck with all your multitasking,
Oh,
and best of luck here as well.
Thank you.
Thanks. And here we have a lovely lady in a very elegant shirt. I love your shirt. What's your name?
Danielle Greene.
Danielle, it's nice to meet you. And tell me, what would your show be about on Remic?
I think more or less the social issues in life, why tuition fees are rising, the presidential elections, what our premier is talking about through his time supporting Canada and letting us know that he is who we talk to about everything.
Okay, if you just want to raise your microphone a little bit higher there.
There we go, sorry.
That's okay. So social issues, I mean, what kind of guests would be on your show?
Like if I can get the premier on, that would be great. He would be nice to have here. McGrady, he did talk about the tuition fees not being risen, and this year they're raising to the top of what there is in Canada right now.
Right.
Also, even, you know, our water in town, having the mayor come in and speak with us about it, because there has been a lot of talk right now that our tap water isn't really that healthy for you.
Right.
And it would be nice to know what really is going through our water systems.
Ah, so having Rob Ford in.
Yes.
He's a difficult man to track down. You think you can do it?
I think I can. I'm very persistent, so.
All right, well, Danielle, why don't you look into the camera? Give us an intro here, as if you were speaking about your Remic show, introing your show, and then pretend I'm a guest.
Okay. Hi, my name is Danielle Greene. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking.
That's okay.
My name is Danielle Greene, and I am Remic today, and our topic of today would be tuition fees in Canada and why they are rising. What do you think about the tuition fees on why they are rising, especially in Quebec right now, being raised at 75%?
Actually, I mean, having gone through the education system recently, and each year it's more and more for essentially the same courses. I think that's not fair at all. How can you expect people to get educated when they can't even afford to be there for half a semester?
Well, even though our poverty low is very low at this time and going through the recession and climbing back up, they are raising tuition fees so that we are able to spend a little more on the education system, better equipment. Teachers, you know, they want their salaries raised. There is a pro and con to both sides. If you really thought about it to the bottom, to the top, would you have to pick a side, or would you kind of be on an equal?
I think, I mean, years ago there was a tuition freeze, and it really helped out students. What is the point of having university so elite and so expensive that nobody can afford to go there? So I'm definitely on the side of the students. Let's keep it lower.
Perfect. Definitely.
Is there anything else you want to ask me?
What do you think the rise in Ontario is like? We used to be the 4th top for tuition fees. Now we are the top at tuition fees. How do you think that's going to change for those going into university this year coming?
I think people going into university are going to realize that it's not what their predecessors said it was, that they're paying more money for the same stuff or less quality, because they're trying to flood the universities, get the money, and then kick people out.
So more students are less and less going to be able to go into university.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to start going to trades and not being able to get that doctor's degree, that dentist's degree, because the tuition fees are rising so high.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me on this show. Why don't you sign off for us?
Perfect. My name's Danielle Greene, and this is the Remic show on tuition fees. Hopefully we can get some teachers in maybe next week and go over this show and maybe have a little more in depth on what's going on. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you.
And now we have a beautiful, colorful lady on the show. What is your name?
My name is Emily Schooley.
Emily, it's nice to meet you. So what would your show be about?
I would like to do a show about sex and sexuality.
Wow. Emily gets right in there. All right, be more specific. I mean, there's a million people out there who want to talk about sex. Not all of them are quality.
Well, I'm talking both quality and qualified. I've worked as a professional dominatrix. I've worked as a call girl. And I know a lot of people that are in the kink, bisexual, queer, gender, basically anyone who's questioning their gender, and even as well to explore polyamory. So that's people that date more than one person.
Yeah.
So what I would like my show to be about would be to cover all topics. So even, things like simple sexual health onto kind of more unique relationships, one could say.
What kind of people would be on your show?
I would love to have anyone and everyone. So sexperts, maybe people that want a little bit of, say, on-air relationship counseling. So there would be, I see a very big opportunity for a very broad spectrum.
Now, are you still working as a dominatrix?
I do off and on. Okay. I'm actually engaged, so I've kind of been more focused on planning my own wedding. And as well, I've also been working as a full-time actress for the last 2 years.
Do you feel that your relationship status affects your work now?
Not so much, because for me, I've always been able to separate sex and love.
Okay.
And with me, love is a very big commitment to someone that's... I could have sex with anyone. I wouldn't necessarily need to care about them. But to love someone and share intimacy, intimacy is far different than sex.
All right. Well, look into the camera and give us an intro to your show.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Schooley. Welcome to Sexuality. And today I have a very lovely lady here with me whose boyfriend wants a threesome. So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. It's an uncomfortable topic for me, that's for sure.
Can you tell us maybe why it's a little bit uncomfortable for you?
Oh, man. Well, I just feel like maybe if he wants a threesome, it's not enough for him, and he doesn't love me.
What makes you think that?
Why am I not enough for him? Why can't he be happy with just me every night? I mean, I'm happy with just him every night.
Did you ever maybe think that it's not that you're not enough, and it's not about, say, for example, if you have an apple, right?
Right.
You might like that apple, you might like to eat another apple. Both those apples taste a little bit different, but they're both still very fulfilling in their own way.
I mean, I guess I was brought up in a very traditional household, so I'm not too sure I'm comfortable with that, and I don't know whether to leave him or not.
Have you told him that you're very uncomfortable with this?
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of laying down an ultimatum before we get married. This is something he wants to do, but I mean, he's not excluding me from it, so I don't know.
Okay, and just kind of out of curiosity, you feel like you're more unsure about this because of your upbringing?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of believe in traditional marriage, one man and one woman.
Okay, and how long have you guys been together?
Not very long, like 8 months.
Okay. And he doesn't seem very open to talking about this?
No, it's kind of an ultimatum, so I'm just not too sure.
Now, this is the big question. Are you attracted to women?
I don't know. I mean, I've never thought about it. Okay. But he actually wants to have a threesome with a man or a woman. It doesn't matter to him.
Okay, so he's more open about who it might be. So it's not just...
Yeah, so I'm really not sure. But thanks for bringing me on the show. What do you think I should do? What is an expert that you think I should talk to?
I say the biggest thing is to have a sincere dialogue with him. Because if he's... it's really about getting to the root of his issue, why he wants a threesome so badly. And if he's not willing to compromise, if he's not willing to consider your values, then I'll come right out and say that you're not in the right relationship.
All right.
The biggest thing with relationships is you have to be able to have that open dialogue, figure out, say, here are my issues, here are how we can move through them. Any partner who's not willing to do that, then...
I don't know. I really don't know. But thank you for giving me advice.
You're quite welcome. I'm very happy to have you on the show.
All right,
and please let us know how it goes.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Danielle. Thank you for that great idea. Do you have anything else to say before we sign off?
Basically, I just love being here. I'd love to be on camera, and I think I have a lot that I could bring to your station.
I think you do, too. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thanks.
And good luck at your wedding, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Sim Sandhu.
Nice to meet you. So tell me, what would your Remic show be about?
Well, currently I am Miss Teen Brampton 2012. I'm 18 years old and I'm studying nursing in school. So I entered this pageant, Miss Ontario, and from there was 10 contestants who won, and overall there were 70 girls going to Miss Canada.
Wow.
So I'm a finalist in Miss Canada, and that's happening this July. And the experience of the pageant was really different than what I expected. It's really glamorized on TV and other media outlets, but really the reality of it is that it's a lot of stress on the girls, and there was a lot of breakdowns and stuff, and I feel like that a Remic show on following girls around in this pageant would be a very good idea, because we have the tiaras and toddlers or whatever it's called, it's a completely different thing for teens and like older women, because I have met like former Miss Canada, and they've told us a lot of stories, and like I've experienced a lot just on.
Well, what kind of things have you experienced? I mean, following these guys around could be interesting, but it could be really boring. So tell me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different girls that came from different backgrounds. So it was a really diverse pageant. I'm Indian, so. There was only like a couple of Indian girls there, and there was like a little bit of racism throughout the pageant.
Really?
So I didn't expect that, and but you know, the girls, like, they got to know each other, and we got to like know each other's backgrounds, and there was a lot of like things that were cleared up, because you know, people didn't know the difference between different religions and everything, and since Canada is such a diverse country, getting to know these girls like one-on-one, like behind the stage, and like helping each other out throughout the pageant was like a really good experience, and getting to know people like on a personal level like that.
Now, would you just interview pageant contestants, or would you have other people on your show as well?
Well, actually, for the last 6 months I've been modeling as well, so I just started doing that, and that in itself is a whole different experience as well, because I was really like, you know, nose in my books kind of girl before, like throughout high school. I was like, didn't really go out much, and I had my group of friends, but it was a really different change going into like modeling and everything, because like now like my whole you know, the whole aspect of life is like being looked at. There's cameras, people touching you, people like fixing you all the time, right? And it's like it's completely out of my comfort zone. So going into that and like showing how like the difference is like between like a normal girl's life going into like a modeling life, it's a really big change. So I think following girls around and seeing like the struggles that they have to experience, like trying to like make a brand out of themselves, just out of their looks, is like a really big thing. And I feel that like it takes a lot out of a person, so just to like follow that around maybe on a camera and for a TV show would be very interesting.
All right, well, we'll look into the camera and pitch me your show. I've done some modeling, so I can talk about this. Go right ahead.
My name is Sim Sandhu, and I would be your host for the show called Model, I don't know.
Model Life.
I mean, Model Life, yeah. Life of a Model. So this show would be a very interesting look into a model's life, inside and out, family, relationships, everything. I personally was in a relationship before I started modeling, and since like everything started picking up for me and like agencies have contacted me and I've like done a lot of work just over the last 6 months, a lot of things have changed for me, and I feel that a lot of girls would relate to this in different ways, models and non-models and girls who want to get into the media field.
All right, well, so why don't you interview me as if I was on your show?
Okay,
yes.
Sure. So Jasmine, I heard that you just started modeling with Ford Models. So tell me about your experience.
Wow, I mean, Ford is the biggest modeling company in the world, so I'm very excited. I had a little bit of experience, but not a lot, so I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and how did you feel walking into your first audition with Ford?
Oh, my casting call, I mean, I was very nervous. I was told to dress very plainly, which I thought didn't make any sense to me. Why did they want to see me plain? So I went in, not a lot of makeup, jeans and a white t-shirt, and they just kind of looked me over like I was a horse. And yeah, and then they signed a contract with me.
Did you ever do any pageants beforehand?
Yeah, I did a couple pageants when I was a child and a young teenager, so I guess this is kind of natural progression.
Yeah. And how do you feel about having your pictures taken and like the fame that comes along with modeling?
I kind of like it. I mean, I don't mind the attention, and a girl always wants to know she's pretty, right? So,
of course. Also, there have been issues with like modeling and eating disorders. So have you ever had any experiences, or do you know any models that have had eating disorders or stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, a few of them for sure. There's definitely some models out there who, whether they go through a period of 2 weeks or 2 years with an eating disorder, they have it, and it's really hard to get out of their heads. And I mean, the pressure is always there to be thinner. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, why don't you end off the show for us?
Thank you, Jasmine, for coming on our show. This is Jasmine. You will be seeing a lot of her in Vogue and a lot of different magazines. Hopefully. So keep your eye out for Jasmine Bowen. And I'm your host, Sim Sandhu, and see you next week on The Life of a Model.
We do roll with the punches here on REMICTV, and we have Andre. Welcome to the show. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my goodness. When anybody asks me that, I always think to myself, what can I share? What shouldn't I share? But to tell you a little bit about me, I'm a typical 29-year-old. Not very interesting, but yet not boring. But you see, I can't tell you the stuff that's not boring. I might get in a little trouble.
Uh-oh.
We got to keep it a little bit professional.
All right, Andre, well, tell me, what would your remix show be about?
Everything and anything. Why limit your topics to just one thing?
Okay.
Because many things affect us in this world, right? We got social networking, dating websites, conspiracy theories. Oh my. And interviews with interesting people.
What kind of people?
Hookers, gangsters.
Gangsters?
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear.
These people, what should I say, are put in sort of shunned among society.
Yes.
But you see, they have a voice, and they must be heard.
I agree. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who never get to be heard because of their position in life.
Disposition, one would call
Disposition. All right, well, Andre, you seem very prepared, so why not turn to the camera, introduce your potential for now remix show, and I'll be your guest. I'll be anyone you want me to be.
All right.
Okay. Go right ahead.
First time a woman's ever said that to me. I'll take it, hey?
Oh, the elephant in the room.
All right. You're watching REMICTV with your host, Andre Sanchez. And this is the Chamber of Truth, where anything goes, where all truth is revealed. So be prepared. If you're not, disposition. Either way, I'm here with the lovely, the vivacious, the sensational Jasmine. That should be a princess name.
It is a princess name. We're good.
You're not a princess.
I'm not a princess, but there is a Princess
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Or anything like that?
No, you're good.
Cool. So today's topic, let's talk about dating websites. Just heard a statistic. Now you can question the integrity of it, but 1 in 6 people who visited a dating website got married. So my question to you, Jasmine, first of all, have you ever been on a dating website?
I've looked around at them, yeah.
I mean, what enticed you first and foremost?
It's just there's so many guys out there, you know, and being an actor and a former model, I find that a lot of guys out there on first sight, they just, you know, look you up and down and they judge you. And I really wanted to have a profile on a dating website so I could get my opinion heard. I didn't put pictures up for a little while. I wanted people to find out about my personality more than my looks.
Really? Okay. So you want to see the all around, and that's the best way to go about it.
Yes.
So let me ask you, very personal.
Yeah.
Have you ever dated anybody off a dating website?
Yeah, I've been on a few dates. Some of them a little bit weird.
Really? So let's get to the point of this. What does it take? What does it take to get Jasmine to go on a date off a dating website?
Off a dating website. Well, when you write me, don't comment on, you know, oh, I think you're so pretty, Don't be dirty, be classy. Maybe tell me about our first date. Where are we going to go? I mean, that's important too. I don't just want to go back and forth on the details for 5 months. I don't have that kind of time.
Really? So touch your woman's mind, get her interest.
Absolutely.
Touch your heart, get her love.
That's true.
But that's a lot of work.
It is.
But I think you just get your foot in the door in terms of a dating website before we hit the love.
Absolutely. Getting your foot in the door is very important because there's a lot of guys I reject because maybe they don't know how to write properly or they're not classy, that kind of thing.
So let me ask you this. Based on the fact you've had, let's say, minimal success on a dating website, would you ever consider it again?
I don't know. I mean, the internet, it's so hard to screen people. And the truth is, when you meet people in person, you realize a lot more about them in 1 second than you can on a website because people can put work and effort and essentially have various tries at writing their profile correctly. But first impressions are very important as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. We end the show.
All right. Thank you very much, people, for watching. You're watching REMICTV and the Chamber of Truth. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you to my lovely guest, Jasmine. And tune in next week.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes. Best of luck. We'll be deciding in like a week or two. There's a lot of people. So cool. All right. Thank you. All right. Here we are on REMICTV, and we have a very lovely gentleman. What is your name?
Chris Torty.
Chris, it's nice to meet you. Chris, what would your remix show be about?
Well, I wasn't clear about what my remix show would be about. I have a lot of background working with children. I'm a children's musician.
Okay.
But I think that I would probably stick with health and beauty.
Health and beauty. And why would that be your topic? I mean, there's a lot of beautiful women who come in here and want to talk about health and beauty.
Yes. Well, I went to school for about 9 years post-secondary, me being the only male in my programs. So I studied early childhood education at college, early childhood education in university, and also women's studies.
Wow.
So I'm constantly around women all the time, so I kind of soaked in a lot of that.
Now, that's not a bad thing for a gentleman to be around.
Oh, no. it's worked to my advantage in many instances. But
so is this why you want your show to be about that, so you can get women guests?
No. Actually, I have a story. Basically, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and celiac, and both of those kinds of living. It makes it difficult to in today's world. Like, for example, if you're out with friends, they'll say, hey, let's go to Tim Hortons, let's go to Subway, let's go there. I can't go anywhere to eat. I have a gluten-free diet, and I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost about 85 pounds. Wow. And this is without exercise. This is just me.
Well, maybe we should do a
diet
show there.
Seriously.
Well, why don't you look into the camera and give me a mock remix show, and I'll be your guest for 2 questions.
My name is Chris Torty, and I'm here with Jasmine, and this show is called You Are What You Eat.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me on the show.
Well, there's so many aspects and areas you can focus on with health and beauty. Do you use any do you find that when you're looking for hair products and makeup or all those kind of things that you look for certain things, like at the back of the like, for example, there's certain companies that test on animals. Is that something that would ever
what I look for really, I mean, obviously I'm against animal cruelty. I hope that everyone is, but what I look for really is clean makeup, water-based rather than oil-based. I do a lot of camera work, a lot of stage makeup, and I want my skin to be as unattacked as possible, and it doesn't always happen that way, but water-based is definitely my preference.
Oh, excellent. And do you find that if with the ingredients wise that you're looking for ingredients that you could pronounce? Because I find that when I've gone to a few stores, I've looked at a few of the makeups or certain products for females and males, and there's a lot of ingredients that I can't even pronounce. And that kind of concerns me because I look into a lot of these ingredients. Do you find yourself ever looking into ingredients?
That doesn't really bother me necessarily. I just want to make sure that it's water-based, and maybe I'll read the reviews to see how it acts under camera lights or stage lights.
Oh, okay, excellent.
All right, so sign off for us.
I'm Chris Torty, and I'm here with Jasmine, and you've been watching You Are What You Eat.
We have a familiar face in the elephant in the room way back in the beginning of the show, in the start of the Earth. We spoke to Jessie, and now Jessie is back. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. So, Jessie, you were a guest on a show about eating disorders in models. What would your own remix show be about?
Well, since I have a background in psychology and nutrition at school, I actually just graduated this year. I think my show would be about a healthy lifestyle. So just to teach women and men how to have a good eating habits and how to exercise properly. And since there's so many people spending a lot of money on, diet pills and plastic surgeries, and I think my show would to bring a positive message to those people to teach them how to have a healthy lifestyle without having to spend those money.
All right. That is a very interesting topic because the diet industry is $1 million industry, and you're trying to bank rob it. Yeah. All right, Jessie. Well, you know how this works. So this time I'm going to be your guest.
Great.
Go right ahead. Intro yourself, and here I am.
Okay. This is Jessie Yang, and now you're watching Lifestyle 101. Today our topic is about skincare, and what would be the best way to talk about skincare without a dermatologist. So today we have Dr. Jasmine Bowen, who is a dermatologist from Princess Margaret Hospital. Thank you for being here today, Jasmine.
No problem. I always want to help people.
Yeah, and for skincare is such a big thing for both men and women. Right. And a lot of people spend so much money on different products. And there's a lot of cosmetic products targeting skincare. Right. And what would be your suggestions on how to choose your products for your skin?
I would definitely say speak to someone who knows. Don't just try and do it yourself. There's so many things that the average person doesn't know what type of skin type they have, especially if you have combination skin. Yeah. That's very hard as well. When you're choosing your makeup, make sure it matches your skin tone, obviously, things like that. If something irritates your skin, do not go back to it even once just to see. Leave it alone. Make sure you wash your makeup off every night, things like that.
And also, there's a controversy online saying that a lot of people who go to dermatologists for skin problems, dermatologists usually prescribe like tetracycline or like some sort of medicine to treat their skin. But then they often neglect the fact that a lot of it has to do with their lifestyle. Are they drinking enough water, and are they getting enough sleep? Are they stressed? Because some people are saying that it's because doctors and other people have different interests because of their occupation. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I always try to do the best by my patients, but I know there are doctors out there who definitely prescribe things because they're paid to. The sales reps come, and they're just trying to get as much money out of possible. They don't care whether they harm their patients or not.
Yeah, well, that's very, very nice of you. Yeah, I think skincare is a overall lifestyle thing. Like, that's what I'm saying on the show, is like the importance of your overall eating habits and are you drinking enough water? Are you sleeping well? Are you stressed? And these things, plus like the added benefits of the medicine and your the products that you use on your face.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for having me on the show, Jessie.
Thank you.
Why don't you sign off the show for us?
Well, this is Jessie Yang, and thank you for watching Lifestyle 101, and we'll see you next week.
All right, maybe Jessie will be a more familiar face on REMICTV. We don't know. Maybe you should let us know. Come right back and check us out. All right, well, we've had some very interesting hopefuls here at REMICTV, and now we have another great person. What is your name?
My name is Gina Marshall.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And what would your Remic show be about?
Am I speaking to you, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. My show is going to be about pop culture and current events.
Okay. So give me an example.
So I'd probably invite local talent to come in and discuss what their new scene is, what their what venues they've been doing, or maybe some local kitchen chefs as well, because I have a lot of restaurant industry background, and I know a lot of people in the music industry as well.
All right, so why don't you look into the camera, give us kind of a mock go, and then I'll be your guest for a couple questions.
Hi, my name is Gina Marshall, and welcome to Lips Unsealed. And today's guest, we have Jasmine, and she's one of our new local talents in the area. She's a singer, and she's just getting started. So, hi, Jasmine, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Excellent. So, how did you get started in the industry?
I've always sung, like, as young as I can remember. I've just always been kind of belting out show tunes. I really like Broadway. I really want to be on Broadway one day, and that's my dream.
Excellent. So, have you been doing any kind of shows in the last little while?
Yeah, I actually have a theater show that's on tour right now. My mom comes with me, and I have the lead, but I also have an understudy because we do 8 shows a week, so my understudy does 2 of those.
Right. It's very difficult to do 8 shows a week. Now, how do you find that you are able to keep up with the pace of that?
Lots of good food, lots of good sleep, very important. Even though we finish the shows at 10, 11 o'clock at night, I make sure I get my full 8 hours of sleep.
Absolutely, you absolutely need that. And what are your future goals then?
Well, to be on Broadway, maybe to be like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, something like that.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Excellent.
you
Thank
for
you very much,
having me
Jasmine.
on the show. And if you just want to sign off.
Thank you for watching Gina Marshall on Lips Unsealed.
All right. Oh, I've been so many things on this episode of Remic. I've been a doctor, a dermatologist, a sex expert, an astrophysicist, I think, and now another hopeful is here to interview me. What is your name?
My name is Sonia ANDREACCHI.
Nice to meet you, Sonia. So tell me, what would your Remic show be about?
Just spiritual topics, personal growth, betterment of society, that kind of a thing.
All right. And give me like an example of an episode. Maybe hold the microphone up to your mouth.
An example of an episode might be like talking to a spiritual leader or a life coach or someone that's like, you know, working in the field of helping people achieve their goals and live their best life. Like, you know what I mean? Like on a movement towards the betterment of society.
Absolutely. So who would be on life coaches? Anyone in particular?
An ideal guest would be like Wayne Dyer or something like that, but that's like really out there. But I'm sure there would be stepping stones along the way.
And tell me, I mean, there's so many people who want to better themselves and all of that. What makes you think that you're the one we should pick?
I'm just one of many, and we're all part of the big picture. I've not better, I'm not worse, but I care.
Right.
And I have a few questions for you.
Sure. Yeah. Why don't you intro a mock show, and then I can just go right at it.
Okay. This is Personal Growth Hour with Sonia ANDREACCHI. How do you feel about the desensitization?
It's okay.
How do you feel about the desensitization of media?
Do you sense it? Can you be a little...
And the effect that it's had on women.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I think women are being affected by the media. All these tall, skinny models are out there. Women are being told they need to look this way, that they need to be thin, even if it's not their body type. They're developing eating disorders. There's a lot of provocative material on TV these days. HBO is very famous for showing a lot of sexual content, and women are starting to think it's okay.
So now, how do you feel though? I'm not asking about what's going on. I'm asking about how you personally feel as a woman about it.
I feel pressure to be thin. That's for sure. I feel like because I've been with one person my whole life, that's wrong and taboo now. I feel like the media is telling me that I have to be one way and it's their way.
Okay, what do you think needs to happen for a change to take place in the way we depict women, in the way we view women in their roles and depict sort of in a healthier, more authentic, respectable, honorable manner?
Well, definitely the Dove campaign for real beauty is changing the way people think.
Do you think it's powerful enough, though?
No. Having plus-size models is starting to change the way people think as well. I mean, we really have to realize that what we're portraying in the media is not necessarily how people live or how people can live. And to have more people out there who are, real models, real size, to maybe start showing happy marriages on TV instead of the drama of divorce.
Do you think that people would be attracted to things that are not filled with drama or, things that are worse than their own lives as opposed to better than their own lives? Do you think that would be something that would be...
Happy marriages can have drama too. I mean, people, plus-size women and normal-size women can have eating disorders. I think that we could make it work to showcase the real women in society.
Okay.
All right. Well, sign off for me.
This is Sonia with your Spiritual Hour.
All right.
Hi, my name is AFROZ and welcome to Healthy Living with me today.
This is his show. Jump right in.
Absolutely. We all want to live healthy, don't we?
Yes.
And we all find ways and means to give our body what we need on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea about REMICTV is knowledge and results.
Right.
And so we want to know how to get that knowledge and how to put it into action and get the results. So here we have in our studio a very, very famous yoga teacher.
Yes.
Whose name is Jasmine.
Yes.
And yoga is something that is the trend of life, and people are putting a lot of their time into yoga.
Right.
There was a time when people used to do just jogging, running, and try to find ways and means of getting into shape. But today, yoga is the trend. So Jasmine, what do you feel like? How is this trend really taking up?
Well, a lot of people don't have a lot of time for hard exercise, running on the treadmill for an hour. They come home at the end of the day and they're exhausted. Right. And yoga is exercise, but at the same time, it's very relaxing. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone.
True. Now, we live very busy lives. There are working mothers, there's working dads, and they come at the end of the day. You think yoga is good enough to even do it after a hard day's work?
It's definitely a very relaxing exercise, so it can be. And it's also can be adapted to different levels, so maybe it can be a family activity.
Very true. Now, Jasmine, I know that you are also a CEO of a company and that you are into corporate business.
Yes.
Now, how do you take out time between being a yoga instructor as well as being a CEO?
I fit yoga into my day. I teach on my lunch hour and for a couple hours after work as well. And I make sure that I always make time for yoga because it's not just about the teaching of it. It's about healing and relaxing as well. So it's kind of a job that kind of gets in there and lets you relax and lets you work. It doesn't feel like work, to be honest.
So great. So what are you telling us, that if you do yoga, you're getting the best of all the worlds?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say in a nutshell?
If you want to come home and relax, you might as well do yoga because you're relaxing and exercising as well.
Awesome. So whether you are a working person, not working person, a person into athletics, sports or not, you still can survive with yoga.
Absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching me, and this is some fine tips on yoga and to get you interested in a healthy living with me, AFROZ on REMICTV. And Jasmine, thanks for coming to our show today.
Thank you very much.
It was wonderful
for
having
me.
you this evening.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Who should be the next new host of REMICTV? We're here to find out. What is your name?
I am Karel Chantov.
Nice to meet you. And tell me about your potential remix show.
Potentially, I was thinking to go for kind of an active living lifestyle show, maybe have a little bit off spin onto yoga or supplement health, but to give it a younger perspective.
All right, so tell me, who would be your guest on this show?
You could go into local skate shops, you could go into local snowboard and ski shops, as well as local yoga gyms, even health practitioner stores like supplement stores, and really do your research and have interviews with.
What would make you the expert, though? Like, what experience do you bring?
See, now, what experience I bring is the everyday guy, essentially, the everyday youngin', I guess, who wants to learn more. And that's why we're approaching these businesses and these these groups in order to find out more information.
So it kind of be like go on a journey with you.
Exactly.
All right, well, look into the camera. Give me your mock remix show. You have 2 questions for me.
Beauty. Hi, this is Kirill Chensov, your favorite ski bum who sold out to the corporate world. I'm here. I'm here with Jasmine, your local supplement specialist, and we got a couple of questions with her today. Jasmine, how are you doing first off?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well today. Now, I was wondering, for a young guy like myself, what would be an important thing to supplement into my lifestyle?
Well, definitely make sure, I mean, I'm good, I'm mic'd. You're at such a young age, and you want to make sure that your body is growing properly. You want to make sure you take care of it for 60, 80 years down the road when things are going to start to be failing. It's very important at a young age to make sure you're eating properly, taking the proper vitamins, health supplements, that kind of thing.
Fantastic. Now, say we kept up with this healthy lifestyle in our old age, should we still keep it going, or should we expect to be slowing down significantly?
You might slow down in your old age, but probably a lot slower than your friends if you're healthy.
Oh, right on. That's awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Jasmine. We've been here at the supplement store, and it's Kirill Chensov, your favorite ski bum who sold out, signing out. Have a good one.
All right. Well, hopefully you don't sell out too much. Thank you very much. It was very nice to meet you, my dear.
Nice to meet you.
What will I be next? Let's welcome another remake hopeful. What is your name?
I'm Patricia Severn.
Nice to meet you, Patricia. And what would your remix show be about?
My show would be about comedy.
Comedy?
Yeah.
All right. What makes you the expert on that? There's a lot of funny people out there.
There are. Well, I've been mixing with the comics for about a year now here in Toronto, and I am a stand-up comic myself.
Okay.
And I just really feel like there could be some exposure there, and we could share the laughter. Everybody needs that.
Who would be on your show? Give me a typical episode. What would it be about?
A typical episode would be maybe 1 or 2 local comedians, or maybe a sketch troupe, or an improv group. We could also do like things at their facility and bring tapes in and stuff like that.
Well, I could see that being a very funny show.
Yeah.
So why don't you give me a mock episode? I'll be whatever you want me to be. Go right ahead.
Laughter really is the best medicine. And here with me today is Jasmine. Jasmine's been on stage only a dozen times here in the Toronto comedy scene. So what was it like getting on stage?
Oh, the first time I was really scared. All the jokes just flew out of my head. I didn't know what I was talking about, what I was going to do, but it worked out.
Yes. Did you find that you were present in your body that time, or did it take several attempts?
I think the first time I just kind of squeaked through.
Yeah, I remember that myself.
Yeah.
Had no idea after what had happened.
Yes.
But the second time, the third time, each time got better. Is that how you experienced it?
Absolutely. I mean, the more times I'm on stage, the more I'm getting comfortable with it, the more it's starting to feel like just doing it for my friends.
And tell me, did you have a hard time getting on stage with regards to female against male competition, or?
You know, I think I just grew up in such an equal environment that I never really considered that, no.
Oh, that's great.
Anything else?
Well, sure. I'd like to know, do you ever work with somebody else, like in a duo, or are you
yeah,
part
I have
of
a partner that I work with on occasion, but I find that with a partner, you have to practice a lot more. You don't want to be stepping over each other, whereas by myself, if I forget, I can just make something else up.
Brilliant. That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
you're
having
very
me
welcome.
on the show.
Have a good laugh today.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
This is Patricia Severn signing off.
All right, welcome back. And what is your name?
Nicco Keith Charles.
And you have a beautiful accent. Where is it from?
From England.
From England.
Yes.
Why did you come here?
Well, I was born Canadian, but I grew up playing soccer in England.
Ah, so went over there and then came back here.
Came back here, joined the Canadian Forces, 2 tours to Afghanistan, then a police officer, professional soccer player with Team Canada in the military.
Wow.
And then now I'm an actor in a musical.
Okay, I'm very curious. What is your remix show going to be about?
Well,
What could it be about?
It could be like a million things. I'm like a Renaissance man. So my one topic was going to be emergency response, the heroes within.
Wow.
Being a police officer and a soldier, there's many avenues that you can explore in terms of hero stories, the day, the life of living as emergency response, as a soldier coming back from war, here and after. And just how they feel and how they actually cope with life. And
Well, I mean, and you've been in the forces. So.
I have. I served 8 years full time and then
Wow.
4 years in the reserves. And
Amazing. So why don't you give us a mock remix show, and I will do my best to be your guest.
Okay. Perfect. Hello, I'm the Renaissance man, Nicco Keith Charles, and we have a special guest today here for the emergency response Heroes Within. We have Jasmine, a constable with Peel Police. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, we've got some reports today that you actually have an interesting story about a response that you had a couple weeks ago where you saved a woman's life from jumping off a bridge.
I mean, it's part of the job.
How did that make you feel?
Well, at the time I wasn't really thinking. I mean, I saw her and I kind of could judge from her body language what was going on, and I was searching, and none of your training prepares you for this.
Exactly. No, I can totally comprehend with that. What was running through your head as you, like, were you thinking about it, or was it just reaction?
I was searching for the right thing to say and trying to remember my training, but at the same time trying to think, what would I want to hear if I were so down in that situation that I needed someone to step in, and trying to remember my physical training as well to get closer and closer, but not to startle her.
Well, you certainly did the right thing. You saved her life, and I believe she's in recovery right now in the hospital down here in Mississauga. Certainly no one ever teaches you to cope with the aftermath of it, and it must have been such an adrenaline rush running through you. And how, if there was anything to say, how do you cope with the ups and downs of situations that certainly come like this, like saving someone's life, or just, you know, being in a police chase as well?
You have to separate yourself from work. For sure. When I go home, I have to make sure it's not about work. I have to realize that even though there is bad, there is good, and I'm doing it for the good of people. And the bad that comes with it is unfortunately part of the job.
Well, thank you very much for your service, and you stay safe out there in the community.
You.
This is Jasmine, Constable with Peel Police. I'm Nicco Keith Charles, your Renaissance man. You're here on REMICTV.
Who will be the next host of REMICTV? We're going to find out. What is your name?
Hi, my name's Caroline Pockington.
Nice to meet you, Caroline.
Nice to meet you, Jasmine.
So tell me, what is your Remix show going to be about?
You know, there's a lot of topics that I would love to talk about. I mean, like travel. I've traveled so many places, like all over the world. Celebrities, entertainment. I work for an entertainment company right now, so I mean, I'm always around it, surrounded by like the.
So pick one.
You know,
what would it be about?
So you know, I was thinking that I would have a talk show.
Okay.
And the talk
that's
show.
That's all we do on Remix.
I mean, like, but I would.
Oh, okay.
So. If you know, if it got picked up, you know, like maybe somebody like you would be the co-host. We could talk about recent events. Okay. If I had my own show, it would be about relationships and relationship advice.
All right, so why don't we do that? Now, what makes you the expert on relationship advice? Because I mean, you're very pretty.
No,
and there's a million pretty girls out there who
doesn't
know
mean
about
that I don't know. I've been through a lot of relationships. I took psychology at Ryerson. Right. And then I also took a lot of courses based around relationships and sexual relationships and stuff like that. And then my friends as well, they tend to come to me for relationship advice. So.
So what kind of person would be on your show? Or what types of guys?
I mean, anyone who's looking for some advice, anyone who's stuck in a rut, anybody who doesn't know if they want to break up with their boyfriend, they don't know if they're gay, they don't know if themselves are gay, they don't know what to do in a situation.
All right, so why don't you give me a mock remix show right now? Look at the camera. You get 2 questions for me, and then you sign off.
Okay. Hi, I'm Caroline Pockington, and I am the love guru. I'm here with Jasmine, and Jasmine is wondering if she is straight or if she is gay. Yeah. So, Jasmine, why are you here today, and like, what's making you feel like you're stuck in a rut?
I mean, I've always kind of admired both genders, and I've had relationships with both genders, but I mean, I'm not sure which road I should take.
And when did you start feeling like you wanted to, you started thinking about girls and guys? Was it always like that, or was it recently?
It's definitely more recent. As I got to university, and it was more diverse and more things were accepted.
Right. Well, does anybody ever question you on it? Like, has anybody ever been like, hey, or do they ever see you checking out a girl?
People just, assume it is what it is.
Right. Well, I mean, in Toronto and around here, people are more accepting nowadays, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I grew up in a more or less diverse community, essentially, where it wasn't
did you grow
accepting. I grew up in Sudbury, and Sudbury it's just very
a little bit farther north.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. And my second question is, if you had the opportunity to be set up on a blind date, what would you pick, a girl or a guy?
I don't know. I'd have to hear. It's more about their personalities to me
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
Good. A lot of people now, they just go for the looks, and they're like, well, I mean, a lot of things like first look, like first impressions, stuff like that. But
absolutely,
that's a really good answer.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm Caroline Pockington. I'm the Love Guru, and I'm signing out.
We have so many colorful people here on REMICTV, including this lovely lady in pink. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Stephanie Haynes. Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you, Stephanie. What would your Remic show be about?
Well, I would like to talk about the reality TV that's going on in Canada that's just coming up from the States. We have a couple of shows. We've got the Canadian Bachelor going on. I hear there's going to be a Survivor, and I'd like for my show to either have some guests come in who have just gotten kicked off the show or who are about to be on the show, or else have my show take place in a bar where a group of people are watching and we can talk to them during the commercials.
Ooh, that sounds very interesting. Why don't you give me a mock Remix show as usual? I get 2 questions to answer, so go right ahead. I'll be whoever you want me to be.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Haynes. I'm here with Remic TV, and I'm really excited to be the new host here. And I've got a hot topic here because something that's new to Canada. We're talking about reality TV, and there's lots of mixed opinions on that. So I am here with Jasmine, and I'm really excited. Although I know she wasn't quite so popular on Canadian Bachelor and just got voted off by our hunky Jake. A little bit of drama going on with the girls too, I hear. So Jasmine, tell us about your real feelings towards Jake and what was going on with you and Nicole there? Why all the drama?
Jake, I think he came on the show and it was fixed. I feel like half the women there he didn't even talk to, he didn't even look at. It felt like he knew some people from before, and Nicole was one of those people.
Yes, yeah, and there's a lot of different opinions on Nicole. Maybe we can go around the bar after and get some of those. But how do you feel? There was also a rumor going on that you just went on the show for a little publicity. Is there any truth to that?
No, I mean, I went on the show like everyone else to look for love, but I didn't expect it to be fixed.
Well, I some fix going on as well too. So, but thank you for coming here. Is there anything else you want to say to the public?
Just that reality TV isn't as real as it looks.
Okay, well, that was Jasmine. I'm really happy that she was able to come today. So thanks. Here from Remic TV, it's Stephanie Haynes signing out.
And the lady in pink. Thank you, Stephanie. Awesome. Thank you very much, my dear. It's a beautiful shirt. We've seen so many great people on Remic TV today. Who will be the next host? Who will bring their new show idea forward? We need you to help us decide. Write in, tell us who you like. Cast your vote. Let us know your favorite new host for Remic TV. I'm Jasmine Bowen, and you've been watching The Elephant in the Room. Search for new Remic hosts. The good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, the crazy. We've had it all. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.